Welcome to this video from the RC Ground School. Part of the decision on using a hand-me-down transmitter versus a new one is having a basic understanding of transmitter brands and price points. For the sake of organization, I'm going to divide transmitters into what I'm calling Tier 1 and Tier 2 transmitter brands. These represent brands that you can easily find in hobby shops or online and exclude no-name transmitters you'll sometimes find in ready-to-fly models from down-market vendors. Each of the brands we discuss here have advocates. In today's world where folks take offense so easily, someone is likely to quibble with my category choices, but I have to draw the line somewhere. Additionally, both Tier 1 and Tier 2 transmitters are quality transmitters. It's just that Tier 1 transmitters have a wider following and command higher prices. Let's start with Tier 1 transmitters. As of the fall of 2020, there are two brands I believe fall into this category. They have been market leaders for years. They are Spectrum and Futaba. Go to any model airplane club and most pilots will be flying one of those two brands. Their popularity means that they can command a premium price. Prices change over time, so I don't want to get into price specifics here. Go online and see how prices stack up as of when you're watching this video. Tier 2 transmitters include the Detram, Gavin, and Blitz lines associated with Dynam, Tactic, and FR Sky, sometimes referred to as Free Sky. Both Tier 1 and Tier 2 radios will provide a solid connection with your model. Tier 2 brands are normally less expensive when comparing the same type of radio with the same number of channels. If you're planning on collecting a hangar full of models, you should probably at least consider a Tier 2 radio or a Tier 1 brand that has readily available, inexpensive third-party receivers. As with the transmitter itself, Tier 1 brand receivers tend to be more expensive. Tier 2 transmitters can be a great choice for someone with a budget concern while still wanting a full feature set and room to grow. Tier 2 transmitters allow the new modeler to get more channels for less money. That allows you to transition into more complicated models as your skills grow. I know we mentioned this in the previous video, but it's worth repeating. Whether you decide on a Tier 1 or a Tier 2 radio for your first transmitter, make sure it has at least 6 channels and is a computer radio. Computer radios will allow you to program several models into the radio's memories and easily choose the values for a variety of variables necessary to enjoy your model. Let me close this video with one very important point. If you are planning to fly with an instructor, investigate what brand he or she is using or what the club uses for instructor radios. Today, most 2.4 GHz radios allow you to wirelessly connect to the instructor's radio. In years past, this connection was made via a cable. Using a wireless buddy box configuration, your instructor will be able to rescue your model from an unsafe situation without having to take your transmitter from you. The last thing we need to talk about for this video is a quick discussion on how 2.4 GHz transmitters actually work, at least from a 20,000-foot view. 2.4 GHz transmitters don't use specific channels in the sense that older 72 MHz transmitters do. When they first came out several years ago, 2.4 GHz transmitters used one of two primary methods to connect to their receivers. Spectrum transmitters used what is called direct sequence spread spectrum technology. In that scheme, the transmitter bound with the receiver and then they shared the frequency scheme. The transmitter used a frequency band and broadcast the data during a specific time interval. The receiver listened for data at that specific time. Futaba, on the other hand, shows a technique called frequency hopping spread spectrum. In that scheme, the transmitter and receiver hopped between frequencies on a predetermined interval. The data was shared while each was on that frequency. Since the frequency hops occurred very rapidly, there was little impact if a frequency was in use. Data was shared again on the next hop. Manufacturers assessed their first-generation radios and determined that a combination of both techniques produced better results. Today, most manufacturers combine frequency hopping and direct sequencing techniques. The systems don't work together because the manufacturers use different frequencies within the 2.4 GHz band and different time intervals. In the next video, we'll take a deeper dive into what we mean by the term channels, memories, and telemetry. As we close this video out, if you found it helpful, please click on the thumbs up icon and subscribe to the RCPlaneviews.com channel. Click on the bell icon to be notified when I post new videos. And thanks for watching.